Hey everybody, Dustin DePirek here, columnist Ryan Karchi. We were hanging out in the media press room work area, whatever it is, and we're like the last two people here.
We're working that hard for you.
Exactly. We're really trying. Actually, I'm just facing writer's block and failing against it as per usual. But anyway, press conferences today. Learned a little bit more about VCU and just kind of the challenge that Indiana is going to face tomorrow at I guess 7:10 your time in the third round, I guess, of the NCAA tournament. And basically all everyone wants to talk about more or less is VCU's press, which isn't surprising considering VCU caused more turnovers this year than anyone else in America. Leads Division I in steals and pretty much just kind of wreaks havoc on everybody.
And considering that they have a pretty bad offense. I mean,
it's not particularly good. No,
this is a team that they are not good shooters. I mean, they were, I think,
really.
Their field goal percentage for the season was 285th or something like that.
I think they shoot 33%. They shoot 41% for the field, 33% from three. It's not horrendous, but
and the only guard shooting better than 40% on the team is Darius Theus, the point guard, and he's taking less shots than the other two guards, Bradford Burgess and Troy Daniels. So, I mean, we're talking about a team who made it to the NCAA tournament, won its first game pretty much solely on its defense. I mean, it's had runs. Bradford Burgess is a player who can score in bunches.
Yeah.
He has the experience of having gone to the Final Four. He was a part of last year's team. He was the second leading scorer. But at the same time, I mean, this is very much going to be a matchup of Indiana's dynamic offense against VCU's dynamic defense.
Yeah, Shaka Smart even went so far as to say that this year they knew they had to be better at the press. They lost some great players from that Final Four team. Jamie Skeen was a 6'8" guy who could shoot threes, just an absolute matchup nightmare. You don't see a lot of guys like him at that level. And then Joey Rodriguez was just a
huge leader down the stretch.
Exactly, jitterbug point guard who averaged like 5-point-something assists. They had 4 starters on that team. Most of those guys were scorers, and they were used to having guys who could score. And they looked around, and mostly what they had was guys who were on the bench, but quick little guys. Not necessarily a little bit like guys with length, guys that were just kind of quick, sort of pesty sort of guys. And Smart realized, okay, like we've got to be. He was already a press guy to begin with. He's like, we got to be even better at this. We've got to be totally locked in because what we've got to do is we got to create steals and get easy baskets. Because when it comes to a half-court setting, we're not going to have all that much we're going to be able to go to. And they were able to do that. Obviously, I think I can't remember how many. They've only lost one game in like a month and a half or something.
And that was
like
to George Mason, which was almost
a
fringe.
1-point game.
It was almost a fringe tournament team before that. So
yeah. No, I mean, Mason's always one of the best teams in that league, and I'm sure they're an NIT team. They have to be, right?
I don't know.
One more another, I mean, they were just pretty much blowing everybody away. Won a really good game against Drexel to get in here, and then did, manage to nip Wichita State by 3 points in that game. And defense was the biggest reason why. Wichita State had a really tough time dealing with that pressure and just handling it. And it's constant. I mean, the Indiana guys talked about it a lot, and they went so far as to say, we haven't seen anything like this in the Big Ten.
Yeah, the interesting thing was that VCU didn't really cause that many turnovers against Wichita State. They only had 12. They only caused 12 turnovers. They had 11 themselves, so that didn't really make a big difference. But the press kind of threw off Wichita State's offense to start the game and all the way through the second half. I mean, they really didn't get into rhythm. Neither team really got into rhythm for a while, but Wichita State has a better offense than VCU. They couldn't get into rhythm, and then once they finally did, it ended up being too late. And for Indiana, a team that's been pretty reliant on rhythm at times and getting guys into rhythm and getting confident early, I mean, that could be dangerous. If they can't break that press kind of right off the bat, get into rhythm, then I mean, the second half is going to be an interesting battle.
It can be a tough situation. It also, I mean, I think somebody else mentioned it this week, because Louisville is also a team that presses a lot, and I think somebody asked Davidson about the pressure and how much of a difference that makes over the course of time, and it wears on your legs. I mean, that was one thing. I mean, I think one thing that Bob McKillop was discussing, and he also talked about Louisville's ball screens also that drive you nuts. But press can wear you down, and that makes it harder to make shots sometimes. I mean, it's tougher to just get your legs if you're so worried about just running back and forth and you're trying to make the right pass and you're just dealing with that much speed. That can be an issue. That can wear you down in a way, and you might physically be okay and be able to keep running, but you don't have the same legs on your jumper that you used to, and you have to recalibrate.
And VCU is a very well conditioned team. I think I read from Jeff Eisenberg of Yahoo Sports that they had practiced a lot this past summer, just playing one-on-one, full court sets. I mean, that's for a long time too. That's tough on your legs. That's gonna make you treasure the times when you can go 5-on-5. So this is a team that's not really going to get tired on the defensive end. So if they do wear on Indiana, and then by the second half, I mean, it's gonna they're gonna have to rely on that rhythm, I guess.
I think it is kind of overstated the degree to which Indiana can play at a fast pace. I think it's been sort of a lot of people have talked about it, and people have actually asked me, are they going to try to slow it down? Like, no, not at all, not in the least.
They're going to try to speed it up.
Yeah, if anything, they'll try to speed it up, and what they're going to try to do is get it down the floor and just break the press and get past it for layups. I mean, it's tough to tell exactly. It depends on how you sort of set the press up, how quick you can sort of initiate a trap, get guys in trouble. But they've got all guys that can run, and Cody Zeller is one of the single fastest big men in the country. I think you very much saw that against New Mexico State. I mean, he, just finds sort of seams in transition. Can just run in between guys and just outrun guys. And he wasn't necessarily. I asked him a little bit about that today, if he thought that was something he might be able to take advantage of, if maybe they wouldn't account for him correctly in a press situation. He said, probably not. I'm going to be dealing with probably faster guys than I'm used to, because they're not probably going to have a big to run with me. It's probably going to be more of a forward type, but it's still an issue. I mean, the fact that you don't. When your center can also run, when your center can, and he can handle the ball. I mean, I was talking to somebody else about this today. It wouldn't be the worst idea to get him the ball in the backcourt in certain scenarios. Because he can handle a little bit. I mean, he's going to be able to see up the floor, pass over those guys. I mean, the trap's not going to be quite as effective. He's a great passer. I mean, maybe that's the situation that Tom Crean. I'm sure he's thought about it. I'm sure he's considered it at some point in time. He definitely handles the ball in a full court setting better than just about any 6'11" guy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's an option too.
I think Cody Zeller is the one major mismatch that they have in this game that they can really exploit.
And Shaka Smart even said that. I don't have anything. He said, I don't have anything that replicates Cody Zeller.
Now, the interesting thing, though, will be if Indiana's guards can handle the ball well enough and really make smart decisions to kind of get into a half-court kind of offense, or to just get the ball to Cody Zeller or Christian Watford for easy layups. And that's... And I mean, we've seen ball handling problems at times this year. This is, and Tom Crean said it, this is where they really miss Riddell Jones.
Yeah, it is.
As another guy who can bring the ball up the court effectively.
Obviously Victor Oladipo and Remy Abel will be used significantly in this game. They're in a full court set as opposed to a half court situation. Like Purdue did a lot of half court pressure. I mean, basically, once you got the ball off half court, they did a lot of ball pressure. They extended beyond the 3-point line a lot, and in that game, they used Oladipo and Remy Abel a lot in that game, but to sort of relieve Jordan Hulls. But it's a big game for Jordan, I think. I mean, this is one where he's really going to have to step up. He had a monster game against New Mexico State, and he's done well at handling the ball in the past. But he's going to go against guys that are going to have a lot of length, a lot of athleticism. They're going to come and try to trap him early, and they're going to try to turn him over. And sometimes he's had issues with that. But he's going to be have to be just really smart with the basketball. I mean, he was extremely confident the other day. Also, when he does turn the ball over, Hulls has a tendency, and he's addressed it, and Crean has addressed it, to let it get in his head a little bit. When he does, fall short, when he has failures, it sticks with him for a couple plays because he's such a perfectionist. Works so hard to be correct on the fundamentals, and when he fails at that, it sticks with him. It bothers him for a while, and this is going to be a game where he's going to have to let it go really, really quickly, and he's just going to have to make a lot of the right decisions.
He's going to have to really make sure he's not dribbling into
the traps,
and just dribbling kind of up the sideline, because he's kind of been the kind of guy who will dribble, try to penetrate, and then go around, and that's, if he's caught in those corners, VCU is the best team in the country at trapping guards like that. So he's really going to have to maintain his kind of the ball in the middle of the court, and if he can do that, I mean, even when he's off the ball, I mean, they're going to leave guys open in the press. If Oladipo is bringing the ball up the court and Jordan Hulls gets lost in the press, he's going to have some open threes in this game. So he could very well score as many points as he did in the last one.
Right, it's possible. I mean, Vic's not phenomenal in the open court. I mean, he's very good once you kind of get him in the half court, just coming off a ball screen and stuff like that. You still haven't seen the situation where you really want him bringing up the full,
It's
the
a
ball
bit erratic.
94 feet. He gets a bit erratic. He got sped up a little bit against New Mexico State, lost a couple turnovers that way. That's where it's interesting dynamic as to who's the better ball handler between Hulse and Oladipo. You want Oladipo a lot more just coming off a ball screen and attacking the rim, but just sort of when it comes to dealing with pressure, when it comes to just dealing with somebody who's going to hound him for 94 feet, I think Hulse is the guy you want in those situations. So but you're really going to have to interchange those guys, and obviously Abel is something that you can use in those situations as well. He's going to get tested, but he's going to be really important in this game as well.
So keys to the game and prediction?
I think we already addressed keys to the game about for the entire past 10 minutes.
But prediction?
I'm going to go with Indiana by 7. I still think they pull it off. I think they want it too much, and I think all that it really is about is getting past the press. I mean, I don't think there's any other way in which VCU matches up with Indiana. I think there's a lot of things they can exploit. They just got to get the ball up the floor. I
am very much 50-50 on the result of this game, but if I had to make a prediction, I would say Indiana by 4.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a really good one. It's their shot at getting back to the Sweet 16, so... See you back here tomorrow night. Thanks.